Good afternoon, everyone. So today we have left this topic from a storage class. So let me revise the concept of storage class once again. See, storage class are used to describe the features of a variable or function, because function also returns some value like character, integer, float, or void. Okay, so it depends on different actually data types are of different type like integer, float, character, etc. So this is not sufficient. We must know that where the data will be stored. Okay, so there are 4 different segments of a memory. Am I audible to all of you?
Yes, sir.
And this screen is visible also?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. So uh, there are storage classes. Okay, so different storage classes are available, and see, we have 4 different partitions of memory like code segment, data segment, stack segment, and extra segment. So code segment is utilized by coding part of our programming, and data segment is used to store the data. Stack segment is available for automatic data, okay, or default data, whatever data we are going to store here. An extra segment will hold the string values, and there are CPU registers also. Fine. In memory hierarchy, we have already learned about registers, memory, secondary memory, etc. So if we are talking about memory, this is primary memory. Okay. And this is our CPU register. It is inside the central processing unit. And this you can also use for your data. These features basically include scope, I had already told, visibility, and lifetime, which help us to trace the existence of a particular variable during the runtime of a program. Okay, so if you want to trace the variable, so you need to know about how this data is being utilized by the program, whether it is automatic kind of data or some other kind of data. So this is scope, visibility, and lifetime. Fine. A storage class represents the visibility of and a location of a variable. It tells from what part of code we can access a variable. A storage class is used to describe the things like variable scope. So variable scope may be any, whether it is local scope or global scope. Mainly we can see that it is local or global scope. Okay, local or global. Fine. Global means available for all and available at all the time. And if local means it is available to particular block of code. Location where the variable will be stored. So these are the locations like data segment, stack segment, and register. In C programming, these 3 locations are available to store the data. So where means it totally depends on type of variable, whether it is auto kind of, a static kind of, or a register kind of. So depending on this, it will be stored at particular location. So auto register class, okay, it is stored at a stack. I will tell you why. Then for data segment, there are 2 different things available, X and static. Okay, it is available with data segment, and for register storage class is available. Now come to next thing, the initialized value of a variable. The variable by default, either it may be 0 or garbage. So garbage is available for auto and register. What do you mean by garbage? So garbage means whenever we are declare any variable like integer a, okay, so by default some value will be there because of previous use of memory. So this memory cell consists of a series of ones and zeros. So whatever ones and zeros are there at that particular time, at that particular moment of time, this same value will be reflected while printing to this. Okay, if we are using a scanf statement, then it is overwritten at this variable. If we are not using any scanf statement, then it will print the garbage value. Garbage value means uncleared memory location will be shown equivalent or character set. But For static and extern class, it is by default 0 for static and extern. Static and extern. Okay. Now come to lifetime of a variable. Lifetime of a variable means when it is created and up to what time it will be available. So there may be a lifetime throughout the program and there may be a lifetime of within a block. So it depends. Who can access this variable? So the variable can be accessible to different kind of user. Its privileges are associated whether the user is super user or local user. So depending on different kind of user, it will be available to all of you. Now come to this part of storage class. So the storage class is used to represent the information about a variable, and a variable is not only associated with data type, its value, but also associated with storage class. So variable is associated with value, means what is the value of a equals to 5. This is value. What type of variable it is? Integer. Okay, where it will be located. So it is located at fine. So this is how one can identify a variable using storage class also. There are total 4 types of standard storage class. The table represents these different storage classes. Okay, so in case of memory, we have 4 different segments according to 8086 microprocessor. Okay, so these segments are code segment, stack segment, data segment, and extra segment. So in code segment, normally we have tried to store, or it holds the coding associated with particular program. Then data, if we are not declaring any specific kind, then it is available at auto. Otherwise, it is available at external and static. And then finally, if we exclusively call this register, then it is available with CPU. Now come to storage specifier auto. What is the properties? What are the different properties of this auto variable? So its storage is stack. What do you mean by stack? I had already explained you that whenever you are creating a chapati, okay, so the first chapati will be at the bottom of this pot, and then next chapati will just above this, third chapati will be above second, and fourth will be above at above third. Okay, and likewise, if you want to access these chapati, the first chapati will be fourth. So this organization is known as first in last out or last in first out. So LIFO is a very general term which is used for stack organization. Okay, so in this stack organization, we insert value, and this is a specific segment of memory where you can pull the data or push the data. Then initial value of this automatic variable is garbage. Garbage means whatever there in memory left behind. It may be a series of ones and zero. So equivalent to this ones and zero, it will create one value. Okay, it will create one value, and this value will be displayed according to your data type. Now come to scope. So it is scoped for a block only. Okay, where it is declared and where it is terminated. So this is with limited scope, and the scope is block scope. Like in case of for loop, for integer I equals to 0, I is less than or equals to 10, and I plus plus. Okay, so this is our automatic variable, and it is available for this block only. It is started, it is visible from this place, and it will end at this place only. Okay, so this is the limited scope block. You cannot access this integer I beyond the scope of this. Now come to extern variable. Extern variable has a tremendous capability. This is suppose file 1, and this is file 2 and file 3. So one variable will be declared here, and it can be accessible to all other files. So this is known as external variable or extern variable, and its visibility is global to the different file. That's why it is global, and all other types are available for local. Okay, this all are local, but extern is global. Now come to storage type. So it is available at data segment of memory, and its initial value is 0. So whatever is available at data segment, its initial value will be 0, and the scope is global uh, across multiple files. And lifetime is whenever it has been observed, means in that particular file, from this particular file to end of the program. So this is known as your external variable. And now come to static variable. Static variable has a capability despite of so many function calls. Okay, so it will be understandable to you only when you are using static value. Why it is some book says that its value never change. It means whatever value is updated, its updated value never goes to zero or reset. It is also available at data segment storage, and its initial value is 0, and the scope is within the block, and it will be available till end of the program. Now come to register variable. So register variable and auto variable has no difference. Each and everything is same except the storage location. This is storage. Its storage is provided at CPU's register. Okay, and why CPU register is being invoked by the program? Because it is we are doing the programming in CPU itself. Okay, so we need not to go for fetching the value from main memory, so it will reduce our time for execution. But we have shown, because I am having SSD memory slot, so with SSD also it is means in performance I had executed a loop for 1,000 times, and the performance is same for SSD and register also. But in traditional days, when memory was based on magnetic device, so at that time you notice, and the users notice that it is very faster than the secondary storage or some other kind of storage. So let us see the storage class and their purpose. Auto is a default storage class. Extern is a global variable accessible across multiple files. Static is a local variable which is capable of returning a value and also returning a bind even when control is transferred to the function call. And register, it is a variable which is stored inside the register. Now come to automatic variable. So this is default storage class, and because it is default storage class, for all the variables declares inside a function or a block, hence the keyword auto is rarely used while writing program in C. So whenever you are using integer ABC, it is by default automatic. Auto variable can be only accessed within the block or function. Why block and function is written? Because function is also it returns also something they have been declared and not outside them, which defines their scope. So I will show you the scope here. Of course, these can be accessed within the nested parent block function in which the auto variable was declared, and you can also access, they can be accessed outside their scope, as well as using the concept of pointer. Okay, so pointer we have not discussed yet, so we left this for next unit. So concept of pointer, we can use this to very exact memory location where the variable resides. They are assigned a garbage value by default whenever they are declared. The reason is that whenever I am declaring integer a, okay, so it is available at, it will point to a particular location. Suppose this is I and it require 4 location, and suppose it was used previously, so whatever data may be stored here, it will be invoked by our system. It may be an image or a web page, whatever may be there. So because of this, each and everything in computer is stored in terms of 10 and 10. So that's why according to this 1010, it will create some values. Suppose integer a is written, so it will create 31676, etc. kind of answer, okay, when invoking. So let us not discuss about this, why garbage is there, because it is a garbage value related with uncleared memory. Now come to blocks. This is one block. This green one is another block. And the blue one is one more block. Okay. So whenever I'm trying to access the value of I here, okay, the value of j here, it will print 3. If I delete this line, it will access 2. It will print 2. Okay. If I delete this line also, so it will print 1. Okay. But because already declared one value by me, so if I cut this line, okay, so there may be problem with this statement. It will print an error message. Although suppose this is line number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Although the line number 6 also declared the value j, but its scope is green box only. Okay, that's why it cannot be accessible from this block to this block. And that is why we need to declare it is accessible to all the blocks because its scope is very wide. You can see using this set operation diagram. Okay, and its scope is little bit narrow and its scope is narrowest. Fine. So that is why you can means you need to declare the variable very carefully, and each and every j has different meaning. Now come to execution, how this will be executed. So this statement will be executed first and it will print one space, and after that %d means it is fetching the value of j, and this local j is 3, and now one more space will be created. After execution of this, it will go to next statement. So next is /t. So due to this /t, a big space will be created, and then is one more space will be created, and after that, due to this %d and the value of j is 2, so that's why it will print 2, and after that it will exit from this block and now come to final block, and inside that final block, this is without any space, this is without any space, so it will print %d and j. So the value of j is 1, so this will be your output. Okay, and after that cursor will start blinking from here. So this is how auto variable can be used, and this is how the execution of auto variable is done. Okay, innermost is first and outermost is last. Now come to extern. Okay, so extern is used, and I will show you how do we use extern. But before this, let me explain. This is one file. Here I had declared I equals to 48. Okay, and here with this extern, it will fetch for multiple files. This particular statement will fetch from multiple files for the value of I. So it is available at this file. And now whenever I'm going to print value of external integer I is %d and address of I. So this I will be fetched from here. And finally, the output of this is the value for external integer is as it is. And instead of %d, it will fetching the value of I from this file, and it is 48. Okay, so this is the extern. A very simple thing is there. The scope is we have two different files. I will show you how do we access all these things. External storage class simply tells us that the variable is defined elsewhere and not within the same block where it is used. Basically, the value is assigned to it in a different block, and this can be overwritten or changed in a different block as well. So an external variable is nothing but a global variable initialized with a legal value where it is declared in order to be used elsewhere. It can be accessed within any function or block. Also, a normal global variable can be made external as well by placing the external before its declaration or definition in the function. This basically signifies that we are not initializing a new variable, but instead we are using accessing the global variable only. Okay, we are not using it. The main purpose of using external variables is that they can be accessed between two different files which are part of the large program. So let me explain you how this variable will be used. Okay, so this I need to delete first, and let me show you my desktop. No, it is not available with desktop. To understand this concept, I need code block. So now code block is visible to all of you.
No, sir.
No, sir.
Wait for
Yes,
3-4
sir.
seconds. Now it is available. Okay.
Yes.
So because today internet quality is absolute poor at different parts of India also, I think. So let me start with showing you how to do this. Okay. So just try to remember all these steps. Initially, we start with create a new project. It is available here in middle of the screen, or it is available here with new and project. Okay. So I'm using this flexibility and console application because it is based on input and output, the DOS screen. So I am choosing console application, go, and then next, and I'm using a C program and then project title. So it is extern because this is B section, so extern B. My project title is extern B, and the next, and it is available at extern B back. Yes. Now finish. So here this workspace will create several files including main. Okay, so here main file is there, and I am adding one more file. I'm going to add one more file. So whenever I'm selecting this, it is asking me that you want to add this new file in active project. So just create a click on yes, and the name of this is ABC. Anything you can put here. So this is another file. I had included one file include stdio.h, stdio.h, okay, and then integer k equals to some value, and now I'm going to this, some error is there, say what is the error? No error. Yes, so printf hello world %d and then comma, and this value is I. But before this, I need to declare here something extern I. Okay. So this is declared here, and now let us compile this. Oh yes, integer. This is integer kind of value. Undefined reference to I. Integer. Oh yes. So this is K actually, and this is K. So here you can see that whatever value I had given in this ABC file, it will be printed. Okay, hello, followed by 1%D. So 6346765 will be printed here. So this is how you can use external variable. It is declared in another file and used in some other file. So any doubt related with this? If you have any doubt, you can ask. Or let me continue my lecture. Any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay, fine. So let us start with next thing, that is your extern is completed. Now come to static variable. Okay. So what is the use of static variable? The storage class is used to declare static variable, which are popularly used by used while writing program in C language. Static variable have property of preserving their value. This point is very, very important, retaining their value even after they are out of their scope. Okay. Hence, the static variable preserves the value of their last use in their scope. So we can say that they are initialized only once and exist termination of the program. Thus, no new memory is allocated because they are not redeclared. Okay. So with the same memory location, it is used. Their scope is local to the function to which they were defined. Global static variable can be accessed anywhere in the program. By default, they are assigned the value 0 and its section is data segment. So give me a minute of time because noise. Okay, so due to noise, a lot of disturbance is coming from outside of the world. Let me explain this program. So this is one program, and here the concept of function will be used. Void next static iteration, and this is a function. Okay, this is a function, and if you are executing this function, so some output will be there and it will preserve, because this is function. Each time whenever we are using function, it will print different value, but here it is not like that. It will print from that particular value. Okay, so two number of static integer value will be declared. This is global variable. Global variable is declared outside the scope of main program, and this is local to this particular function, and it will be used. So while counter is less than 10, this is our counter, and next function will be called. Next function will be called. Okay, next function will invoke this. Okay, and then it will start executing in this direction, and after that counter plus plus. So this function will execute how many times? It will execute for from 7, because the value of counter is 7, 7, 8, 9, 10. Although this function will be invoked, but it will run. So let me show you this by code block. So this is static function. This is our function. Static integer counter equals to 7. Okay. And now let us run this program. Oh, file, close project. So here you can see that iteration 14 is for how this execution is taken place. So let me explain each line one by one. Here counter is less than 10 is written. Okay, counter is less than 10 is written, and this counter is used here also. The same variable is used here also, and the iteration. So this is static value. Static value 7 is given. It is global, so you know that there is no problem. But whenever I am going to call this function next, so next will go here, and the initial value of iteration is 13. Okay, and now it will become 14. So it will print 14 iteration %d. So it will print 14, and after that, whenever I am going to execute the program, it will again need to print 14, but because of static declaration, it is available in memory. That's why it will print 15. Suppose I am not using static, just see without static, then you will be able to understand what is the meaning of this static variable. Okay. So this screen, this 14, 15, 16, 7, 8, 9 is given. Now 14, 14, 14 will come, and the counter will 7, 8, 9. Okay. So here you can see that if I'm not using a static value, then it will not able to retain the value of this iteration. And that's why the loop is coming 7, 8, 9. If I'm not using this integer, static integer, I also delete the static from here. But this value, because it is counter, let us see the scope, and you will be able to understand that 7, 8, 9 is, it retains its value because it is globally available and it is accessible here also. Okay, but the problem is that this is because it is globally available and it is the only value, that's why it is coming as 7, 8, 9. But it is inside scope of function. Its scope is local. The iterations scope is local. That's why the value is coming as 14, 14, 14. So you are free to ask any question if you have any doubt. No doubt. So I think static is also clear. Yes. Anyone? Mohammad Yusuf Khan, is it understandable to you? तो मैं जिन जिन के नाम लूंगा, यदि वो कुछ नहीं बोलते तो उनकी एब्सेंट लगेगी. मानसी बनर्जी. Lamnish Paliwal.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, what is static variable? Yusuf is absent and Mansi is also absent. Okay. Hemant?
Yes, sir.
Yes, tell me. Static variable.
Hello?
मधुरम शर्मा.
Yes, sir.
Static variable. What do you mean by static variable? Pranav Shekhawat. Rajat Gupta. Riddhi.
Yes, sir.
Yes, tell me about this static variable.
सर ये जो प्रोग्राम होता है उसको इंटायरली रन करता है और इसकी डिफ़ॉल्ट वैल्यू 0 होती है.
Parag.
Yes, sir.
Yes, what is static variable?
So variable which value can be described inside or outside the function, or its initial value is 0.
Wow. Satvik Saxena.
Yes, sir.
Yes, static variable.
सर ये इनिशियलाइज्ड एक बार ही होता है और इसको कंपाइलर परसिस्ट कर देता है वेरिएबल को प्रोग्राम के एंड तक.
Great. Good. Sania.
Yes, sir.
Static variable. Vallabha Neni Gopichand.
Yes, sir.
Yes, please elaborate this concept. Tushar Harin Khede. तो आज जितने लोग रैंडम में हैं, जिन लोगों की अटेंडेंस नहीं लगने वाली, उसमें है यूसुफ, मानसी, प्रणव और रजत. ठीक है, तो केयरफुली आप ये कॉन्सेप्ट सुनिए. और यहाँ पर टीचर अवेलेबल है. मुझे मालूम है कि बहुत सारे मटेरियल अवेलेबल है. यू कैन डू अ लॉट ऑफ थिंग विद दैट मटेरियल, बट कुछ चीजें ऐसी होती है जो आप यहाँ पर देख पाओगे, है ना. जो लिखी हुई है वो आपको एज इट इज समझ में आए, कोई जरूरी नहीं है. तो यहाँ पर मैंने स्टैटिक वेरिएबल का कॉन्सेप्ट बता दिया है. फंक्शन अभी बताया नहीं है, बट इट इज केवल मैंने ये बताया कि दिस कैन बी यूज with this function. So let us close this static variable. Now come to register variable. तो register variable को देखने के लिए हम एक प्रोग्राम बनाते हैं और उसको चेक करते हैं कि रजिस्टर में क्या आ रहा है. ठीक है, यहाँ आउटपुट आप लोग के सामने, और ये प्रोग्राम मैंने 10,000 टाइम रन करा है. आप लोगों को केवल ध्यान देना है, ये ऑटो वेरिएबल है. अभी ऑटो वेरिएबल में इस प्रोग्राम के एग्जीक्यूशन में अब ये रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है, एग्जीक्यूट यहाँ करूंगा और एक पर्सन जो है इसका एग्जीक्यूशन टाइम नोट करेगा. ठीक है, तो ये फर्स्ट एग्जीक्यूशन और ये जो टाइम आप नोट कर रहे हैं ऑटो वेरिएबल का है. सो लेट मी स्टार्ट नाउ. रिद्धि आप नोट करो इसको. टाइम है 3.713 सेकेंड। नोट कर लिया आपने?
Sorry, sir.
Anyone? This time you need to note 3.713 second
Okay, sir.
for auto variable. Okay. Now come to next execution. This is 3.261. Okay. We will take 5 observations. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So it's okay. Now this is third observation. 3.457. Done.
Yes, sir.
So this is 3.226 second. How many observation? 5 over
4, sir.
4. Okay. One more observation. So this is last observation. 2.679 second. Okay. So this is last observation. Let us do the same thing with, is it written by you?
Yes,
आपने
sir.
लिख लिया नोट कर? ओके. तो अब मैं ये रजिस्टर वेरिएबल बना रहा हूँ, रजिस्टर. ओके. And let us see what will happen with register variable. Okay. So this is first observation will take time because it is building the program and running the program. So this time is 2.892. आप यदि पहला टाइम उसका देखेंगे ऑटो वेरिएबल का, तो रजिस्टर का जो टाइम है इट टेक्स लेस अमाउंट ऑफ टाइम एज कंपेयर टू ऑटो. ऑटो विल टेक 3 point something something. Okay. Now the second execution of register is 2.609. Third one will take 2.608. Fourth execution 2.633. And the fifth execution 2.611. So you have noted, and you can see that register will take a lesser amount of time, CPU time. Okay. कहां पर कहीं पर ज्यादा टाइम आया है क्या रजिस्टर का?
No, sir.
No, sir. No, sir.
Fine. So this is how the persons may use register variable. So this is the use of register variable. Now come to register variables are very similar to auto variable. The difference is that register variable are stored in CPU register instead of memory, and these variables are faster than normal variable. Mostly programmer uses register to store frequently used variable. Okay. And programmers can store only few variables in CPU register because size of register is very less, and the keyword for variable is declared under the register storage classes. Register, you know very well. And what we are the compiler not to use memory to store the data, instead use CPU register. Advantage is accessing register variable executes faster than auto variable, and disadvantages are one cannot register variable any memory. And now the equation is straightforward. One cannot comes out with the pointer concept using register variable. So whenever we are using register variable, we cannot use pointer because we cannot access the memory location. And this is a sample program which uses different type of storage class. Okay, so I am pasting it and you can run it. I'm not going to explain. You need to check it piecewise. Okay, so this program is also available at internet. So and because a lot of functions are there, so after concept of function I will explain you. So this is the summary of storage class. Let me explain each one in detail once again. Not detail, summarize. Let us summarize. Storage class is used to represent additional information about a variable. Storage class represents the scope and lifespan of a variable. It also tells who can access a variable and from where. And auto, extern, register, static are the four storage classes. Auto is used for a local variable defined within a block. Auto is always local. Auto is always local. Okay. Register is used to store the variable in CPU. Register rather than memory locations are used for quick access. Static is used for both global and local, and each one has its use a case within the C program. And extern is used for data sharing between C project files. Okay, multiple files are there. So within these multiple files, we use extern. So extern is it is declared inside a function or block. Its storage is memory, and which segment is there? Data segment is there. No. For this, it is a stack segment. Okay. Unpredictable. Initial value is unpredictable. Okay. Or you can say garbage. Its scope is within the function or block, and lifetime is also within the function or block. Similarly, register, everything is same except the storage location. Everything is same except the storage location. Its organization is same. Okay. Now come to extern. Outside all the function. Okay. Memory is data segment. And its initial value is 0. Entire file and other files where the variable is declared as extern means its life cycle is very global. You can say global. Scope is global and life cycle is program runtime. Then come to static local and static global. So it is a static global is very similar to extern, and static local is inside a local. Everything is same except the scope. Okay, except the scope. And this is again declared in data segment, and this is also data segment. Fine. So with this, we finished the storage class, and we will discuss the predefined preprocessors in next classes. So if you have any doubt, you can ask, or let me take your attendance.
See, there have been several education policies and this one is also one policy. However, quite often this happens that implementation of the policy does not take place. On paper, it's a wonderful policy, and as my previous speaker was rightly pointing out, that it gives the principle.
Any question? So with this, we conclude storage classes. Okay. And 4 different storage classes we have declared. So be ready for assignment within 2 or 3 days. I'm trying to give you assignment on Sunday. Okay. And tomorrow there will be no special classes, extra classes. And yes. So thank you.